Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. It's not too far from the piano room and you can hear some festive holiday sounds coming out of there as I'm going to attempt to make this Jello mold. I have my ingredients here and in technical challenge style for you British Bake Off fans, I'm going to study this recipe right now. Alright, so having investigated this recipe, I have everything I need. I have one concern, the red and green maraschino cherries. This one I got in liquid. This one is, I don't know, I guess kind of a solid. So I'm concerned that that's going to make a moisture difference in the mold when the time comes, but we'll see what we can do. There's a lot of chopping and draining to do as the first step. So let me get my apron on and get to it. All right, we've got everything for our first steps here. Got a half cup cold water here in this measuring container, and you're supposed to put 2 envelopes of this unflavored gelatin in there to set aside for later. So, sounds easy enough. Let's see, I didn't really say to stir, so I'm going to assume that can do all right on its own. The juice of these red maraschino cherries is just the thing for brandy old fashions, if anyone needs tips on how to make those. So I'm going to save that for later because there might be one of those happening. One might pose the question to oneself, how large of walnut chunks does one want in one's Jello? And if you actually have an answer to that, then, I don't know, we maybe need to talk. Now for the cherries, I've counted, and I think I'm going to save about 10 of these total, maybe 5 of each color for garnish on the top. So I'm going to set those aside right now. Boy, those are fluorescent. That can't be good for you. Oof, viscous. Green cherries. Oh, actually, that's about right. Maybe a little bit too much. All right. Good on the green ones. And red ones. Oop. This is how many red maraschino cherries I end up with, which is about half as much as the green. So I think I gotta get rid of some of these greens because they weren't in liquid to start with. We're ready to take the next step, which is use some heat. So we have our pineapple juice here. Now the recipe says add water to the drained pineapple juice so that you have a cup. I actually have more of a cup with just the pineapple juice itself, which maybe means that I squeezed the pineapple a little too hard as I was draining it. I don't know. But anyway, this is straight pineapple juice. It's going into the pot. It's going to boil, and as soon as that boils, we'll stir in the gelatin. All right, our juice mixture is boiling. So I'm going to kill the heat and add the softened gelatin, which appears to have decided to become one big mass. I hope that's normal. So this is the bowl where all the magic will happen in step 2, so I'm going to just put this in here right now and pop it in the fridge and cool it down. Let's see how we're doing. Ooh, not there yet. All right, a couple more minutes to practice. You know, growing up in the upper Midwest, this sort of Jello concoction was a fairly frequent part of my childhood. But as with all of us, we probably have things from our childhood that we don't regularly or willingly bring into our adult lives, and this is certainly one of those things for me. So I have not ever endeavored to make such a thing before, although it does bring back some significant memories from, I guess, generally the Carter and Reagan administrations. So we seem far enough along toward the egg white stage of the gelatin that we need to do a couple other things in preparation for step 2. We have the mold itself lubricated. I used coconut oil instead of cooking spray because I don't like that stuff and we don't have any. And we've made the whipped topping here, which the directions very specifically say make according to package directions omitting vanilla, which in fact the directions on this version did have. I can only assume that is because we do not want to upset the delicate flavor balance in the other ingredients of this recipe. And then we also need to sift some powdered sugar. And, you know, this is a sifter, and we have one, and I didn't actually know that. But since we know there are style points in presentation here, I'll now show you what I'm going to do with these reserved cherries. There are these bumps on the bottom of the mold of the tin, which will turn into the top of the finished product. So I'm just going to put some whole cherries in a regular pattern, hopefully. Okay, so the whipped topping is fully beaten. As it says on the recipe, we are going to fold 1 cup of that into the gelatin mixture once it's hardened. And then it says reserve remaining topping for other uses. I'm happy with this. All right, the moment of truth is upon us. We have an unbeaten egg white consistency of our gelatin mixture. Although if I saw an egg that looked like that, I probably wouldn't eat it. Into which we are supposed to put basically everything else we've done so far. So first, a cup of whipped topping. That looks about right. And the directions call for folding that in, which is like not working even a little. Trying not to deflate the whipped topping overly much. Yeah, okay, we're gonna do the powdered sugar next, just because I feel like that will help somehow. The green cherries. The red cherries. Pineapple. And lest we forget the most important part, a 1/3 cup of mayonnaise. Now, whoever experimented with this and realized that mayonnaise was just the thing for this final step, I'm not sure. That's about 1/3 of a cup, don't you think? All right, last couple of whips here. And then the big challenge, getting it into the mold. So I don't know if you can see what it's doing on camera, but the viscosity of this is like something I've never encountered before. All right, so there we have it. It's in the tin, and now it will pop in the refrigerator, chilling until firm, and then we will have the grand reveal on the serving tray. I wonder what I should be doing right now. All right, we have arrived at the moment of truth. Took it out of the fridge. Seems to be pretty solid, if odd looking. And now we are going to see if we can decant this thing. We have the pièce de résistance. Looks like the Jello kind of swallowed up those cherries I so carefully put on the top, but you can still kind of see them. Ooh, look at that texture. Yeah. All right. All right, the moment I've been waiting for. Whoa! Yeah, that takes me back. This is vastly different.
It has a nice crunch. A crunch? I'm not sure I will be able to taste that.
He said there was pineapple.
What a blend of flavors.
Delightful lot of cherries in this. The presentation is beautiful. I think I had this as a child.
And to everyone who's watching this, thank you for watching, and we wish you a wonderful 2021, blessed Christmas and holiday season, and we'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye.
Scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs.
I hate
Sticking
this.
with me.
Oh,